What's up, guys? This is the Baka Gamers Podcast. Rolls off the tongue a lot easier than the other name. This is our official name, Baka Gamers Podcast. Uh, a lot more things are going to happen with that, but for now, this is easier to understand, easier to remember, and I'm not messing up anymore. So,
You have to say it real slowly though, like
hey
extra slowly
man,
to make sure you
night,
remember.
night. I
Hey,
got it
sign me
off.
up.
I got it the first time. That's what matters.
That's what counts.
Sure.
This is our episode 2. Really excited to do this episode. I want to introduce my friends, Glow.
Hey, it's your boy Glow here to talk about anime and games. Looking forward to this topic in particular. I'm happy to be here.
And our gamer girl, Nai.
More like anime girl, but what's up, guys?
Damn.
I mean, yeah, gamer works too, but like,
Here I am. I'm trying to make up for like last podcast, but like she still has a problem with it.
my
I
bad, my
can't.
bad,
Quite the
my
intro.
bad,
Quite
my
the
bad.
intro.
Continue on.
Okay. Well, first, before we start on the main topic of our podcast, I figured usually I'm gonna do a little bit of a news segment. Not too much. This I feel like something that we all would collectively agree with and talk a little bit about. So to kind of start off the news, when it comes to JRPGs, as time of this recording this week, I think this Friday, September 10th, Tales of Arise comes out. And I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm a big Tales of fan. And how about you guys? Are you guys going to be picking it up?
Yes, sir.
We had a
Already
whole
got it
podcast
pre-ordered.
last time where we said we would.
Yep.
Did you forget? Like,
Hey man, I don't know. Like maybe like people's like opinions
oh,
change.
all
Like I
right,
don't
all right,
know.
all right. Like, I cancel my pre-order. Like, fuck you guys. Like, nah, I'm pre-order. I'm playing it on the PC. I'm not really much of a PC gamer, but so this is gonna be an interesting experience. But yeah, I got the game. We're gonna give it a try.
Let me know
Yeah,
how that. Oh,
I
sorry.
got it on the PC, but I played the demo on the PlayStation after you told me it was available high top. Did you guys
Mm-hmm.
get to play the demo?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate that there's no demo for the PC version because I would have loved to test how it runs.
Yeah,
But
same.
whatever I tested on my PS4, it was chugging, which is the reason I decided, yeah, I'm definitely doing this on PC instead.
No, I get it. Like I know the setting, and I think part of the reason why they didn't put it on Steam was because I think people could like easily mine it for information and then spoil a lot of stuff. I think that's part of the
Right.
reason why.
That would
So
make sense.
yeah.
Data mining.
But I got mine's on console. I have the PS5 version one, so that's I like my physical copy, so I'm gonna be
Yeah,
playing on
Me
the
still,
too.
PS5.
I was
still
so
pretty high
sad.
performance. Yeah.
I really wanted to play it on PS4, but like, yo, my PS4 sounded like it was dying. Like it was
Oof.
about to be on its last leg. Like,
Right? Like it would take off with just the demo. It sounded like freaking.
You know, you know that the game had like a feature where you can actually prioritize frame rate regards to like instead of graphics.
I know many people who will be very happy about that. Isn't PS4 30 FPS and then PC is 60?
But yeah, pretty much. It's like PS5 is basically like a mini PC, so yeah, 60 frames all the way. I play mine zone with the frame rate on. It looked good either way, even without like the extra enhancement with graphics anyway. Because with the graphics on, it really does kind of chug in terms of frame rate.
Gotcha, gotcha. But
All
no, I'm
right,
definitely looking forward to it.
definitely. And I'll be hopefully I could get this up on YouTube earlier on. That way I can like because I'm gonna be actually streaming this try it through this Friday. If not this Friday, probably Saturday. This is the
Nice.
first bit, just to, like because I'm really excited to play it. So look out for that. And hopefully this recording's out before
Very,
this
very
stream.
curious. Since we all played a demo, what did you guys think about the gameplay?
Uh, I I real spit. I played so many Tales of games, and I was weirded out by when they changed the attack button on it.
I swear to God, I kept messing up with that. I'm so like I don't even play that many Tales of games, but like the button for like attack it just felt like in a weird place. Like I'm not like that's my jump button.
Yeah, it was like,
Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
that's my jump. Like
Like it was so weird. I think you can remap it, but over time you get used to it anyway. It was
I
just
did
so
not get
weird.
used to it. I am
No?
definitely remapping it. Like, no, I was still pressing X to attack, even though I knew it was circle, because I'm just so used to circle being the jump button. Like,
Nah, I get it. I get it.
Is that
Even,
is that like a Japanese thing? You guys think? Because I thought like they have their buttons like reversed. Like X was jump, right? They made X jump for the demo,
X was jump. Oh, the O button
or
was
was it?
jump.
Yeah, I'm
I
trying to
can't remember.
remember. I'm trying to remember, but I do remember the buttons were a little bit weird. But for some reason, I thought maybe that's just like how it's set up overseas or something like that.
Really?
Could be it. I know, especially with Nintendo tends to be like, our buttons is whatever the fuck we want it to be. You'll figure it out kind of mentality. But it could definitely be like an overseas thing. I'm still remapping it because fuck that. But like,
I could
uh,
definitely be wrong too, for sure.
No, no, no. Well, I got used to it. I don't know about you guys. Y'all ain't with
Who was
it, I
your
guess.
who's your favorite character to play?
Honestly, I think I played at least three characters. I played I think was it Alvin? I gotta used to these got people's names, these new names, but I played when I my first playthrough I played as the swordsman dude who had like the
The
flaming
main?
sword. Yeah, Ashvin? Alvin?
I butcher names now. Like,
I think his name's
Nah,
Alvin, but he was the main one, right? With the
yeah.
eye
yeah.
cover.
Yeah, I liked it. His is more balanced anyway. He's like the balanced swordsman you get in any Tales of game. But I did play with the melee fighter and then the staff wielding dude, the red hair dude.
Right.
And honestly, I love. I think this is might be the first Tales of game where I actually might switch between characters and play them, because it's like I feel like Tales of Vesperia is probably a good example, where like it seems like most of the characters, it's like I only felt comfortable playing as Yuri, but I couldn't play as any of the other characters besides Judith. But even then, it was like I was so used to Yuri's play style. I was like I'll stick with him throughout the whole game. But this game is like it feels comfortable to play with all the characters, and it's like I love the fact that there are a lot of a lot of things that could lead to good little combos that can stream me to more things, and it just really looked good.
Yeah. Like I was honestly taken aback by how good the gameplay looked. The game in general, really, because
Hmm.
I've played Tales, Lobeseria, um, Zestiria, and I've played a little bit of Vesperia, right? But playing Rise, it does not look like any other Tales game, yo. Not,
Didn't
not.
they make this on a different engine this time?
I believe it,
I think
because
I think they
that was
use
gorgeous.
Unreal.
They used Unreal,
I
yeah,
think they did.
yeah. It's a gorgeous game.
Like I think my favorite is just I mean they really threw it in your face a lot with the team attacks, but I love the team attacks. Like if you played like I think yeah, you guys played on the PS4, so it's like it still looked good, but it was like chugging along. But when I played on the PS5, like joint looked so smooth. I was like, Jesus Christ. I put the headphones on for it and I was like, damn, this
Are
game's
you
gonna be
just
so
rubbing it in our
good.
faces that you have a PS5?
I know
I
you
mean,
keep dropping the PS5. I'm like, yeah.
I
Like,
gotta
not
let the
PS5.
I
Like,
gotta let the viewers and the listeners know that I have a PS5. I mean, like,
you're
shoot.
just
For the
flexing,
record,
basically. Like,
only
for the
High
record.
Top, only High Top has a PS5. For the record, at the moment.
Oh, I have a PC too. Look, you guys are gonna get a PC. It's gonna be better on PC, honestly.
True.
So have fun with that. But yeah, overall, I'm looking forward to it. And we'll probably next episode we'll probably like touch on it since like we'll have like a whole month to play it and get our hands on the story. I'm really looking forward to the story the most in that game.
I think
Hopefully
her
it's
girl's
good.
really bitchy. I hope she's not that way the entire time.
Nah, I think she'll get better, but I do like that. It seems like she's more of the not the mom of the group. She's like the leader. She's like get the shit done.
Yeah. I mean, I like her character so far. All of them seem
Pretty.
pretty okay. Yeah.
All right, and then next up on news, we have so coming up this Thursday at around 9 o'clock PST, but for us it's like 4 o'clock Eastern time. The PlayStation Sony event is coming
Sony,
up.
Yes.
Sony, where you at?
I am ready to be a clown. Yes.
So we don't know what's going on. Like I'm on Twitter and people are like throwing up a whole bunch of Kingdom Hearts stuff and 16.
I
I'm just like these guys are just
we are not
clowning.
getting
We're not
anything
getting
Kingdom Hearts
anything.
related. Like
It
I
won't stop the
assure you,
clown makeup.
if they reveal anything Kingdom Hearts related, like I will take it and just like be like, okay, I'll just walk around the street naked because like I guarantee you it's not happening. We got Kingdom Hearts 3 like what 3 years ago, like,
Damn,
and
three
it took a
years.
whole decade just to get 3 finally. It was always that like when did we get the first teaser for Kingdom Hearts 3? Like 6 years after 2, like.
Yeah, it was a while. It was a
Yeah,
while. But I'd
but
like to think that they have like
No,
assets and stuff for it.
no, drop that immediately.
nah. I mean, it's like I think what if they ever show any type of Kingdom Hearts thing, like
Mobile
anything,
game. It would be a
maybe a
mobile game.
mobile game or maybe a teaser for Verum Rex. It gotta be a game for just Verum Rex. It
I
can't
don't want
just.
that. No.
I
I
want
doubt it.
it. I
I doubt
want
it.
it. But how about
If you wanted to
16
get into
though?
a whole spiel about Verum Rex, we can, yo.
Like,
Uh,
if they reveal, like, hey guys, we got a Vera Rex game, I think I'll just be upset because I'm like, you are wasting time when I just want Kingdom Hearts 4. Like, no.
I
I
mean, I
honestly
think
think they'll redo the mobile game. Like they'll try to make it more accessible, the story, because what happens in that
it's
pretty much
crazy.
sets up the next phase of KH, you know.
I would like them to just make a movie like they did with, what was the Kingdom Hearts movie called? Backdoor?
Back cover,
Back
back
cover?
door.
Backdoor. Yes, backdoor.
Oh,
Yo,
shit.
man, I was close enough. I got the back right. Like,
But now
Yeah,
it's back cover.
because like
yeah,
the problem with the mobile game is that there's so much fluffing about before you get any real like story related plot scenes. Like,
and
Yeah,
it's
but
crazy because it's like you said, it's like a whole bunch of fluff and everything, but then like the last month of the game, like the support for the game or something, they dropped literally, I can say, an
everything.
hour's worth of cutscenes, and I'm like, this is important, especially for like fans of like, you know, the series. Like, this is like the equivalent, I'd say, almost of a setup that Chain of Memory was for two.
hmm.
So
Ooh,
I'm like, you can't just
still
leave this
haven't
on
seen
the
it.
wayside, you know what I mean? So it's crazy.
I really should get around to watching it on what's that YouTube?
Everglow.
Everglow,
Yeah,
yeah.
Everglow is the dude, man. He thankful for that guy.
I was
Yeah,
really about to
true.
say Everdor. Like, thank you for covering me.
What's with you indoors?
I don't know.
Right,
Maybe Kingdom
backdoor,
Hearts has a lot of
Everdoor.
doors, man. Like, that's why they have the keys.
That's true.
Open them up. You have thing. Riku has a freaking car key to start cars up now.
We're not going back. No, we're not talking about that again.
We
No,
could totally
no,
get into that.
no.
Like,
I'm not about to throw a whole fit about that again.
But
He had such a cool keyblade.
it was too cool.
well, I guess like in terms of predictions, what do you think might show up on that on the show? Just quick predictions.
You first, Nye.
What I would really like to see, and I think is actually feasible, is to see the part 2 of Final Fantasy VII. Like just a teaser. Like I'm not talking like a full blown trailer, but just a teaser. Honestly,
That joint ain't coming up anytime. But go on.
look, man, I say teaser with the expectation that they're gonna do the same shit they did with Kingdom Hearts for like years, where it's like in production, in development. Like, like I would like to see it though, but like honestly, I don't really have any real predictions, honestly. I don't know why my brain feels like there might be a Sly Cooper thing, even though Sly Cooper has been dead for like years.
It was that one little teaser, but I think it was mainly for a movie. But I don't know. It could be possible. They've been bringing back a lot of old projects, so they might bring back Sly Cooper. Who knows?
Possibly.
How about you, Glow?
Um, personally, as far as like Square stuff, I have a feeling Square might be holding that off until. Don't they have
To-
like a TGS
Tokyo,
spot or something like that? Yeah.
yeah, coming up like close to the end of the month.
Yeah. So I think they'll hold off on their major stuff
Mm.
until then. So I kind of put like all Square stuff to the side, like Final Fantasy 7 and 16
That's a
as
good
well
Mhm.
as
point.
AH. But besides that, that game for some reason again
Forspoken,
escapes
right?
me. Yeah, maybe? Nah, probably not. I think they probably hold that off too. But
What this press conference is just for the little stuff then? Like, here's all
No,
the minor
no,
stuff you guys don't care about.
no. It's just like this. Supposedly, it's to focus on like the next gen, so like PS5 games, no VR or anything. So we're gonna see stuff that's in development. I guess it's only for that console. So
yeah, so it'll be like maybe they'll just reveal exclusives or give us more info on exclusives and stuff like that. Maybe.
yeah, like for when it comes to my predictions, like loading, I think we might see something to Square. I think 16 is like, Kingdom Hearts stuff is definitely not going to be anything there. But I think we might see a little bit of Forspoken, maybe actually some gameplay of it, but maybe not too much. Maybe just a tease and we'll see more at TGS. I think we might. I feel like they're going to show a game, Kenna Bridge of Spirits. They're definitely going to show that.
What the heck is that?
Damn, you haven't heard. It's a good game. It's like
Look,
this. I'll send you a trailer of it, but it looks really good. Actually, I'll put this in the final product when I put the video out. Then you can see the trailer for it.
already.
Cool.
I'll put like for Nye.
Oh, you know what? You know what? Now you have to do it.
I've got to do it. And yeah, so like I think if anything is Square just first spoken. But everything else, like I think I have a funny feeling they're gonna show Deathloop again.
Yeah, they're
Uh,
they're
I'm tired of
definitely.
seeing it. I'm tired of seeing it. I don't want to see it again. I
they're
really don't want
gonna
to see it again.
they're
I'm
gonna
tired of
promote
seeing it.
that thing again. It's just like, oh, we saw the game. Like, why?
We have seen the same fucking trailer like 4 whole times at different events. I'm tired of it. Like,
They really want to sell it. Okay.
What's that
Hmm?
game? The one that has George R. R. Martin working on.
oh yeah, that one. Oh, uh, Elder? No, no. What was it
Elden
called?
Ring? Not Elden Ring. No.
No, no. I know which game you're talking about though. I just don't
Yeah,
remember the name of it.
that wasn't a Sony exclusive, was it? Or do you
I don't
remember?
believe it was actually, I think it was a Sony exclusive.
Did
Let me
did they
look this
sh-
up.
did they show gameplay or anything of it?
No, they didn't. That's why I'm thinking maybe that might be a time when they will. Because I remember they mentioned something of it. Like they said George R. R. Martin isn't actually doing much of the writing on it. He's involved, but he's not actually like writing dialogue and stuff like that.
Oh, it is
Hmm.
Elden Ring. It is Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that
Okay.
was mentioned recently, so I'm like, if they're talking about, just like production stuff like that, maybe they might be ready to show something off. I'm not sure.
I think
But
that is likely actually because we didn't really see or hear too much about. We heard about who's gonna be on it,
Hmm.
but I don't think we really saw much of like what's the game's gonna be. So I could totally see that being there.
Okay.
and if
All
they
right.
did show something, because I'm not too sure if we saw much of it yet, so that could be, just a nice spot to throw some gameplay or some other stuff.
All right. Like if this would have been great if we could do like a reaction but we're not going to be together. And once it comes out, I'm probably going to watch it as soon as it comes out. So, but
What time does it
next
come out again?
Thursday at 4 o'clock, and that's actually the day I work from home, so it's perfect.
Yo, we could do it. We could
Just
do
go on
it.
live real
We
quick.
Yeah, we could
do
just
it.
do like a
We
quick
could do.
reaction thing. Just yeah, that'd be cool.
This
All
podcast
right.
is not gonna age well. We could do.
That'd be dope. All right. All right. Bet. No, I'll see. If not, then we'll
We can
talk
sort this
about the
out
next one.
after.
Yeah.
After. Like,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So moving on to news. So we're gonna move on to some anime manga stuff. So first, I definitely want to talk about that Bleach chapter that came out this month. That Bleach chapter, because we all know.
You mean Tite Kubo freaking going in? All right, sorry, go ahead.
he said one shot. He said that, right?
This
He
was
said
not
one
a
shot.
one
Like,
shot.
He
This
said one
was
shot,
he,
but good
he
lord.
lied to my face. Lied. Looked me in the eye and said one shot.
Dio. This is not a one shot. This is like, First of all, let's just talk about our boy Kubo coming in with the art. No blink backgrounds, man. It's good to
Yeah,
see his
he
work.
went in. He went in for
He had
this.
to prove a boy. He's like, guys, I promise I could draw backgrounds. I promise.
No more blink backgrounds. Like, it's really great to see his art, and it's just like I like the direction that they're going with it. Like this is not a one shot. This is an introduction for a new chapter, a new arc, and I'm with it. Like Demon Hollows, like I'm down.
Yeah,
And
it
you
was
know what I really?
literally. Go ahead,
Oh, go
Claire.
ahead. No, no, no. Go ahead, Glow. Go ahead. Just speak your piece.
No, I was just going to mention like they called a one shot, and if it is, then we riot. But um,
Can you imagine? Like he just does not post the second part or anything. He's just like, it was just one shot, guys. That's it. There you go. Like,
exactly. It's like it was a big like I'm back, baby. That's pretty much what he freaking put out there. What was it like 80 something pages, maybe 70 something
it
pages?
was pretty long. I
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
think it was like 75 pages.
yeah, 70 pages. But he hit the ground running. It was almost as if he never left, even though there was like a huge time gap. Like time skip and everything. The children being out and everything like that. But it was refreshing, and I don't know. For someone who's like been a fan of Bleach for a while and had to, swallow that Bleach ended on a kind of a not so great note, but
I'm so sorry.
this was really great to see, and I'm excited to see where he goes with this. Hopefully, this is him saying he's back and, he has a whole bunch of stuff he wants to put out there. The characters were freaking, oh my God. I can go in
Right.
about this freaking chapter, but I'm gonna let it breathe a little bit. Just let it breathe. Let
He
Oh
it
no,
does
breathe.
not make ugly characters. Like, even when they're supposed to be ugly, they're still fairly nice looking. Like, every character, he is a king of character design, honestly. Well,
Seriously.
actually, no, he does have a little bit of a same phage syndrome, but you know what? We don't care. We don't care. They still
We
look
don't we
hot.
don't give a
Like,
shit.
they
Yeah,
it's
we
still
don't.
just
look
good
hot.
to see my boy back doing what he knows how to do best. And we are actually gonna probably have an episode where we're talking about like that again. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. And I honestly feel like we might see that next year with the whole Bleach anime coming back too.
Right.
It will be perfect timing because I did not read that arc because I knew to get the fuck out. I had no intentions of reading that arc. I still don't, even with the new chapter. I like literally just hopped right into it.
Oh, you didn't read the 1,000 year.
No,
Blood
and
Orb.
no, I refuse to. I will watch the anime. Like,
No, no, no. That's perfect because I feel
Yeah,
hopefully the anime actually flushes it out more better than the manga did.
I'm hoping so because I'm still of like the oh no, I feel like the anime for Bleach was treated with I don't want to say with care, but like I felt like the studio and like the people working on that really made,
passion.
yeah, they had passion for it. So I think the adaptation will be pretty good.
I just don't know if it's the same. I don't. Do you know what the studio was previously?
The same one who
Ah,
did Naruto, I think. What, Period?
Period.
I
Okay.
believe so. I could be wrong, but I believe it was Period.
I
I
don't
wonder if.
trust you, so I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I do trust you, of course.
I could definitely be wrong.
All right. Well, hopefully, hopefully we see a trailer of that soon coming up, at least before the new year.
You're
But
right, it's period.
that
Yeah.
is all right. Cool, cool. All right, and then finally, last bit of news, big one, honestly. Funimation and well, honestly, Crunchyroll being bought by Sony, and so now Funimation and Crunchyroll are together, and we didn't hear much about that, other than the fact that it's they've been acquired, they're together now, more anime, but we don't really know what that means for streaming and pricing and all that. I'm honestly like half and half because it's like now it's like I can watch certain anime that was only on Funimation and now probably on some whatever platform they happen to make if it's not going to be like on Crunchyroll. But the only thing I'm just worried about is like for me, the way I've streamed anime is through Verve, since Verve has access to well pretty much multiple anime websites like Crunchyroll and I think Daisuke, I think is one of them too.
High
But
dive.
Yeah, High Dive.
Oh shit, that's
It's
still alive. I mean, continue, continue. I'm sorry.
yeah, I like that service. It's just the fact that it's like you don't even have to just watch those two. They have other programs on there as well. But
Right.
I'm just wondering how that's gonna affect it. Maybe the price might go up. And who knows?
I think they might just leave it honestly, because I feel like when Crunchyroll ended up on Verve, it was at the time when they had to separate from Funimation because they got brought up by Sony. And I feel like the only reason Crunchyroll went to Verb is because they had to do something with the pendant. Like you got Netflix and you had Funimation getting brought up. They had to do something to like stay a little bit. So I feel like especially now since it's Sony that has Funimation and Crunchyroll, and Funimation is definitely not on Verve. I feel like it's more than likely that Crunchyroll will leave Verve, honestly.
Oh, you think Crunchyroll might get pulled from Verb?
Yeah, pretty much. Like
Mm.
into Sony's own probably. I mean, I think it's even likely that Crunchyroll as a site may be, what's the word for it, redone into more of a Sony model. Or maybe they'll just do what they did before and just like basically bring like Funimation back into Crunchyroll. It's like nothing ever happened. Like they never left. They were always together this entire time, kind of
I
deal.
I rather like that than just them making a whole new service because I feel
Sure.
like because I feel like Sony's pretty stingy with like some of their properties and especially with the Spider-Man thing. I'm like, no one down to be like, no, you have to buy it in our own service. You can't have separate services.
I
I mean,
honestly feel like it's likely that Sony's just gonna do a different streaming service with Funimation and Crunchy.
if they're smart, they'll look at the market, just see how I guess consumers have been, consuming like Crunchyroll and everything like that, and see what would be. I'd say the smart thing would to be as little disruption to like consumers as possible, because you don't want to do something that makes people scatter in terms of viewership. But if Crunchyroll and Funimation have all of these I guess rights and whatnot, then no matter what they do, people are gonna have to go to them if they want to watch their stuff legally. So that's a disadvantage we have. Like if they want to make a new service and we want to watch their stuff, that's the only way we can get to it. That will suck. But hopefully they have little as disruption as possible. But we'll see.
Yeah, I guess only time will tell with that.
Yeah.
I feel like my biggest concern when it comes to Sony now having Funimation and Crunchyroll is just the fact that, like, honestly, considering that Crunchyroll is like one of the biggest, not even one of the biggest player, they are the biggest player when it comes to anime next to Funimation. They are low key on their way to kind of getting a little bit of a monopoly on anime now.
Yeah, like you have like little little like little people getting in on it, like Netflix trying to do stuff. I say little people, but only the fact that Netflix only recently, or they're dipping their toe in like anime, like producing and stuff like that. But
Their biggest competition is Netflix, and
yeah,
Netflix compared to Crunchyroll is like it's night and day,
night
honestly.
and
Like
day.
Netflix is dipping more into anime, but especially with the way that Netflix does their streaming, where it's like you gotta wait until all the episodes are out. Like as far as I'm concerned, like Sony does low key have a monopoly, like for the most part. Like Netflix is again their biggest competition, and they're not fully concerned about anime. They're not primary an anime service. They buy anime, but and like quite a few actually. But who knows how long that's gonna stick? Like it could go either they might just give up on the whole anime thing. Granted, I don't think that will be the case since there's clearly a market for it. Or they'll continue just kind of just buy a few shows per season and keep it at that. And then we're not even gonna talk about their other competitors like Amazon, like nothing. Who's the other competitors? Hulu?
There's a Hulu, who
Like,
surprisingly
Hulu, yeah,
Hulu.
yeah. Hulu actually has a decent library.
when I think of anime, I do not think of Hulu for
Yeah.
shit, I assure you.
But actually, hold off to that because this honestly segues perfectly into our topic for tonight's podcast. And so the topic is pretty much has anime and JRPGs gone mainstream? Like, have they gone mainstream? And part of the reason why I kind of wanted to talk about this is mainly because I feel like, thinking back to when how anime kind of just like, when I watched anime, it was frowned upon. I think it's like maybe in 2008 or so. It was frowned upon for some weird reason. It was like, oh, you watch your cartoons, but now it's like we're in 2021, and it's like you mentioned Naruto to some dude that doesn't look like he knows about anime. It's like, oh yeah,
I
yeah,
hate
I
the way
heard
you
about
said
that.
Naruto right there.
Well, how did I
Sorry,
say
continue.
Naruto? Wait, hold on. How did I say Naruto?
No,
You said
continue.
it
No,
fine. You said it
no,
fine.
continue, continue. I'm
You said
sorry.
Mm,
it right.
Continue.
dang,
This did
I
not sound right. Continue.
what did I say? Naruto? Naruto? I said Naruto.
Don't worry about it. Continue.
Dang. Mess up my whole flow. The point is, is that I feel like it's a lot more well known now than it was before. It's like you'll mention Naruto to somebody, and it's like maybe they never saw it, but they've heard about it, and they might see maybe just a little tidbit, or maybe they have a kid that basically knows about it. And even with like JRPGs as well, it's like JRPGs were never frowned upon, but it was hard for us to really get certain games from Japan to come to America. Like it took us a long time till we finally got the Kingdom Hearts final mix. Any of the final mixes. It took like years till they finally did like compilations and now they're reselling to us over and over again. So I just kinda
Yeah,
wanted to just talk about it a little bit.
I have thoughts on it, but I'll let Night go first.
Nah, nah. I've been go. Why do you keep making me go first? Is it because I'm a lady? No, your
No?
turn.
Wow.
Okay. No, it's just every time I'm about to speak, I kind of hear you getting ready, so I'm like, yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Like
But
I'm plotting. It's like I can't wait.
but yeah, it's funny because us talking about Crunchyroll and whatnot, I believe that, or at least the concept of that, is the catalyst for all of this. You know what I mean? Like, just speaking from personal experience, the way I consumed anime back in the day was, you know, like anyone else, like illegal sites. You know,
Yep.
people would, um, I guess, catch whatever raws were coming out from Japan. There would be translators and whatnot. They'd put it up on a website, and don't judge me, but if I wanted to watch it like on the go, like in some sort of portable format, people would either upload parts to YouTube or
Oh
something,
my
or
god. Oh my god.
upload parts
Oh
to
my
YouTube.
god.
No, no, no. Listen to my whole process, right? I'd have to download these videos and then convert them to whatever working like MP4 file or something like that, and then I'd put that on my PSP, yo. Like that's how like that's how I
Dang.
struggled
Yeah.
back in the day,
Nah, I
to watch
just
Yo,
things.
dude, I did the same thing. Who you
No,
telling? Like,
I just watched the parts on YouTube, yo. Part one, part two,
Yeah, but
part
like if you wanted
three.
to be on the go, if you wanted to watch anime at school or something like that, or on the bus or something, like I wanted it on my PSP. But that's just to say, look at the steps and the work that I had to go to back in the day. Not your average person wouldn't, do that if they were just a casual like anime fan or an anime consumer. But now look today, you're literally given services where you just put in your email, create like an account, and you have access to all sorts of different anime, like all sorts of different catalogs and genres and whatnot. And the mobile like the mobile market has like expanded beyond like recognition at this point, where everyone and their grandchild has an iPad, a cell phone, or something like that, and internet is easily accessible as well. Wi-Fi is easily accessible. You can stream all these things. We're like in a streaming world now, so anime is a booming market with all sorts of ways to get into it. So I don't think it's the fact that all of a sudden people are interested in, or more people are interested in it. I'd say it's it's so much more easily accessible now. It's just easier for anyone to get into it. And that's why there's so many people coming out that we would have never thought would be into anime. Well, all I had to do was go to netflix.com, or all I had to do was go to Crunchyroll. All I had to do was, just download this app, create an account, and give them my credit card, and I can watch anime from the 80s, or I can watch an anime that is coming out weekly. You know what I mean? It's stuff that we had to put hours into just to consume that someone can literally get into in 5 minutes. So I think that's why um, it's so much bigger now. And not only that, I mean, the passion for it is the more people are involved in it, the more creative minds are behind it, the more merch is out there, the more conventions are out there. Like, the more people who got involved, the bigger it got, the more accepted it got, and that's why anime is the way it is now, at least in my opinion.
But just to piggyback on what you just said, Glow, I also think that it also, thanks to probably certain anime that's come out, like not only thanks to the streaming services, but also certain anime. Like I feel like Attack on Titan and Sword Art Online are two big ones, because it's like as soon as Attack on Titan came out online, it came out on Netflix. People started to really like. It felt like more people were talking about Attack on Titan. Then they started to probably got more popular. It's like, oh, what else is out there? So they looked at, maybe some old stuff and some of the new stuff, Sword Art Online. I mean, the fact that Sword Art Online is still going on is probably because of the popularity of anime and how much it's grown. It's like that's probably Sword Art Online and Attack on Titan was probably a lot of people's first animes of this generation.
Definitely,
So
definitely.
I don't say this as like a Attack on Titan simp, even though I am, but I honestly feel like Attack on Titan was a very big player in getting more people to know about anime. Because like you guys remember when Attack on Titan came out, there was a legit craze. Like normal people, I say normal people, like people who
Normal
don't watch
people. People of
normies.
sound mind, yes.
the normies, like people who don't watch anime still don't, but they knew about Attack on Titan. They watched Attack on Titan. Like I think Attack on Titan even like hit magazines at some point. Like it was like the number one show for a hot minute. So it definitely put the spotlight. Same for Sword Art Online. Like, but honestly, I agree with Glow in a lot of ways that if I'm being perfectly honest, I don't think anime is mainstream. At least not yet.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure if it would even ever really get mainstream. I think what it is just that anime is more accessible now. So it's more, what's the word for it? It's more easy to find it's more of a cult than anything, honestly. Like a cult. Why do I make it sound so weird? I just don't think it's mainstream so much as just that it has a fan base now. It has a huge fan base than it did in the past, but it's still not normalized because when it comes down to it, the anime that like people talk about a lot are like the very big anime: Naruto, Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, Sword Art Online. Those are usually the anime that people know about, similar to how back in the day we knew about Sailor Moon or Naruto, and I think it's still the case even now. But outside of those shows, they don't really venture out. So it's hard for me to say that it's mainstream so much as just that there are shows that broke out of the fan base and like entered the more, I need to stop
Mainstream.
saying normal mainstream realm.
Mainstream.
Like
But
Because
I,
like to your point though, it's like I have coworkers and whatnot who before a certain time they would testify they've never seen anime before or anything like that, but now these same coworkers, they've watched Attack on Titan, they've watched My Hero, they've watched Dragon Ball, and it's almost like these more popular animes, it's not so much that people are into anime, people are just into this phenomenon that happens to be an anime, you know.
yeah,
And
that's the way to
yeah,
say it.
I
right.
don't.
And it's similar to Game of Thrones or something like that, how like
Yeah.
everyone just gets into this thing, Game of Thrones or Walking Dead or something like that. It's become more than just this media. It's like a phenomenon essentially, and that can catch the eyes of people who aren't normally in that community and stuff like that. Like I know people um who weren't into like fantasy settings or high fantasy settings, but they watched Game of Thrones, week to week because it was a phenomenon. Same thing for anime. People who don't normally watch things like um what Ava or
Aramanga Sensei.
or or anything like that, Eromanga Sensei or anything like that, like, but they're over here watching Attack on Titan. They're watching Demon Slayer, they're going out to see the My Hero movie because that's just, you know, what is the big thing now. It's what's, popular. It's pop culture, so.
I don't know. I feel like it has kind of got a little bit mainstream. And I mainly saying that because I think back to like when I think back to like Toonami days and when Saturday morning cartoons were a thing. And yeah, I remember like looking at like Fox 5, like when Fight was like Fox Kids and then Kids WB, they had like
Fox
Yu-Gi-Oh!
5.
Fox, well, no,
Yeah,
it's
you're
the
right.
share.
Fox 5.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
Fox 5, Fox Kids. I was trying to remember the names.
Fox Kids, yes, Fox Kids,
Yeah,
Kids
but
WB, all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
yeah, like they had like they had Pokemon, they had Yu-Gi-Oh, and I was like, at the time I was a kid, I was like, oh, like this is great, and I thought Americans made it. I'm like, no, Japanese people made it. Like that was of that mind, but it's like I look back at that and I think about it now, and I feel like that same thing is happening on a more larger scale. It's like two people, like not a lot of people looked at Toonami. You had like maybe a select few that saw Toonami and were raised on that until basically it stopped, but it got revived years later. Like I feel like that same thing is happening now, but thanks to streaming, it's made it more, like you said,
Accessible.
accessible to
Yeah.
more people, and that same phenomenon is happening. And now I think I think it's starting to become normalized. Like when you think about it, it's like you have a lot of these Hollywood movies that who are like, we don't want to talk about Dragon Ball Evolution, but that was a thing. They adapted that, then they adapted Ghost in the Shell. They adapted even Japan did Attack on Titan, even though it wasn't that good. But the fact that we're actually seeing it more in like movies now, I feel
But
like it
even
showed.
before this era, like, oh, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. But
No, that's
even
fine.
before this era, like, animes were still getting adapted into movies. Very shitty movies, but it
Right,
still was
right,
happening.
Yeah, but it's
right.
like I barely like if I were to think back then to any type of like animes that were adapted that weren't like something big like Dragon Ball Z or something, I wouldn't really know. But yet now it's like, you see more of like Ghost in the Shell. People are like, what is Ghost in the Shell? That was an anime before it became a live action movie. And even though Ghost in the Shell was weird for what they did with the casting and stuff, it was
Yeah,
still a live adaptation of like an anime.
right.
And it's like, and plus I think the fact that because of I think I might be going off topic. Am I
No, but
going off topic?
not to interrupt you, but to your point, it's like before we like say like Toonami and stuff like that, it would be something like that for your usual anime fan to sort of get their foot in the door to anime. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it would have to be Toonami or something like that. But nowadays, someone can be watching anime and they won't know what Toonami is or something like that. You know what I mean? Or you have like you said, Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, they made movies of anime back in the day, but when did these sort of movies land talent like freaking Scarlett Johansson? You know what
That
I
is
mean?
true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's definitely transforming. It's not in the forefront so much yet that your common person can be like, oh yeah, I know anime, or yeah, I know this and that and the third.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely the audience has grown, and I think it has multiple um things to thank for that.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
it's
I don't know. I think it's still a few years, honestly, before anime becomes mainstream, if it does. Like for me, I find anime to be kinda in the comic book ish phase where it's like there are certain characters and certain shows that people do know about, but outside of that, not really.
Yeah,
For example, like everyone knows who Spider-Man is, everyone knows who Batman is, but
mm-hmm.
if you go deeper into like what's a very I don't know comic books. Chloe, help me out. Like, what's
Like
a very like
Superman.
everyone knows who Superman is. Like, I mean, like
Like
the lesser known heroes. Like,
Eternals. Like I don't know who the Eternals are, and they're making a movie. I'm like, who are these
yeah, I don't
guys?
know who the fuck Eternals are. Like, and I think it's the same thing for anime, where it's like there's like most common people will know who Naruto is. It's that orange hair dude that people do like the weird run for. Like
Orange hair. Okay.
Orange hair. Okay.
orange boy, orange jacket boy with yellow hair. And I think it's something along the lines of that. And like going back to what Glow was saying before, it's just that there's certain animes that are just more of a phenomenon. And I would say also going back to the whole accessibility point, I think it's easy like the fan base seems a lot larger than it did back in the day because like if you were trying to find a friend who knew about anime, you had to awkwardly walk up to people
Very good point. Very good point, yo.
or
Very good point.
awkwardly like, hey, you watch Tsunami? Like
Yep.
That's a very good point. It might not be like that it so much has grown like or exploded out of proportion. It's just that maybe, with the whole internet age, we are just more aware of how many people are into it,
Yeah, it's like it's easier to like I think like it's easier to kind of like bring up to somebody, be like back in the day it'd be like, do you watch anime? What the fuck is anime? And then now you bring it up now, it's like you bring it up to like somebody maybe you just met in school, whatever. It's like, hey, do you watch anime? It's like, oh no, I don't watch anime. It's not as weird now. It's like you say like, oh, this person watches anime, but he's not a weirdo or anything like that. So it's like,
I mean,
it's
it
not
also goes to the fact that like we're adults now, so like the whole like
true.
what you watch that weird like because like back as a teenager and a kid, if you weren't doing the popular stuff and you were doing some like other man shit, it was like who's this weirdo? Like
True, true, exactly.
That is true. Um, but I guess to that now, with it becoming more popular, do you feel like because of it becoming more popular that like anime in terms of like quality and it's like in terms of the industry, do you think that it's benefited from it? I mean, I feel like it definitely has, obviously.
For
Like
sure.
Crunchyroll is a good
oh,
example. Like
definitely.
like I think I recently looked at like I got this inspiration just for the topic from Giguk, the YouTuber.
Hmm.
Like I looked at his old video and was like, huh, this is interesting. And he actually brought up Crunchyroll's like numbers. I was like, how are they doing now? And it's like they got like maybe like 5 million people, 100 million free users, and they just keep growing. And I feel like it's a good sign that like, more people are really looking at anime now. But like what do you think? Do you feel like the quality of anime is like improved because of the popularity?
I wouldn't say that it improves so much that like it's more easier for us to again access it. I think the quality is still just about the same. It has definitely improved more so from technology than popularity, I feel. And I think some people will even argue that the quality probably got worse just because back in the olden times of like 4 parts on YouTube, um most seasons of anime were like maybe like 15 shows, like 20 at most.
Hmm.
Nowadays with anime, like each season is like there's like 30 shit, like 40 sometimes. Like there's a
Right.
lot more. So
Hmm. But but to that though, I think because of how popular it's got, they've actually now like I learned to basically outsource a lot of their work to other countries. But they don't outsource to just one. I forgot the places that they outsource to, but it's like the fact that basically they kind of like reached out to more people to do things like I think what was it
I think
like
Korea is a big one.
yeah, Korea's like
North
one of
Korea.
the big ones. Like kind of like I'm like on Netflix, I'm seeing more Asian, like Korean and Chinese animations on there. I was like, wow, I didn't know they did animations, and like some of it's pretty meh, but it's like it has potential. And I was like,
Hmm.
dang, like who knew they could do that? I didn't know. I thought Japan was the only people who made
I think the Philippines even
anime.
got uh an animated series as well on Netflix too. So
Yeah, like even now, it's like what was one of these shows that came on Netflix? Cannon Busters. I think it was one of them. It was actually I think it was made by actual somebody in America. They partnered with somebody in Japan, and it's like just
yeah.
the fact that like it's getting more outsourced, and I think that's like it shows that the popularity is growing.
Mhm. I mean, my thoughts on it are when something gets big, it's not always to say that it's always going to be nothing but improvements. It's like, yeah, there's going to definitely be improvements because there's more hands in it.
Mhm.
There's more people who are passionate, and we get awesome opportunities like like Jujutsu Kaisen, right? Like freaking Mappa going ham with that and stuff like that, and freaking Chainsaw Man freaking coming out as well. Like there's opportunities as people in the community to get their hands on really awesome animation, right? But when things grow big, yeah, there might be I guess the negative side is oversaturation. Like Nai
Mhm.
was saying earlier, like there's a lot more things that came out, a lot more anime that has come out, and some are gems, some are awesome, some will be instant classics, but then there are those that are like, wow, um, I wish this didn't exist. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, because it's gotten so big, there's opportunities for more misses. There's opportunities for more not bad anime. I don't want to say bad, but under underperforming or anime with less quality. A lot of people would say, "Oh, there's a lot of quantity," right? But I'd say there's an increase in quality as well. But since there's a increase in quantity too, there might be some misses, a lot more misses and stuff like that. And who knows, some shows might cut corners and everything like that. I know people will forever, I'm saying forever, talk about 2016 Berserk, you know,
My
and
God,
how
Jesus,
that is a stain on anime for
how dare
for
you even bring it up?
all time,
Honestly,
you know. But that's because um I guess the studio wanted to experiment with new technology because it's a growing industry and whatnot. But God knows why they decided to experiment with something like that. That's that's so beloved and everything like that. But it's because the industry is growing that they tried something like that. And there's going to be moments like that, is what I'm saying. Because it's growing, there's going to be experimentation and innovation, and there's going to be misses. And sadly, that is a major miss. And who knows if they'll ever revisit it again.
never.
But yeah, but
Yeah.
we'll also get great things. Like I mentioned, Chainsaw Man, that looks freaking phenomenal. And hopefully it lives up to the hype. But
Did you read the manga?
For Chainsaw Man?
I held off on reading the manga just because I saw the anime coming out. And I'm like, you know what? I want to fully throw myself with that. But with any anime, if I really like it, then I'll end up reading it after it's done as well. If it hasn't,
Okay.
Yeah.
caught up.
With Chainsaw Man though, you definitely just jump in the anime. Like there's
Yeah.
so like the manga's good too, but just jump in the anime. Like and then if it ends at a certain point, I think they'll cover everything honestly, considering how
Honestly, the
much
manga's
content.
not very long. If it's a
Mm-mm.
24 episode show, some parts may be a little bit rushed, but they could definitely fit it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And actually, to kind of touch on the negative aspect of it being popular, like with the quality and like them cutting quarters, doing 3D to save money and stuff and time. Like I know Mappa did it for Attack on Titan. But I think also a negative part of it is just the fact that because it's becoming more anime is becoming more popular. Like we talked about how all these little the little guys next to Crunchyroll, like Netflix, Hulu, um, I think HBO Max now has some anime on there. They're starting to kind of grab up on anime, and the bad thing is just the fact that now it's like people are like taking certain anime that people want to see, and it's locked behind a paywall for that streaming service. So it's like now it's like I think for one anime I really wanted to watch was Vinland Saga, and I thought it would be on Verve, but it's like it wasn't on Verve. It was on it's only on
Amazon?
It's on
Funimation.
Amazon.
Oh, it's on
Oh,
Amazon. Oh, that was on
It's on
Funimation.
Amazon as well, but it's probably on
Okay.
Funimation too. Yeah.
and then there's someone in the comments like, Amazon has anime?
Yeah, yeah. I was surprised. I mean, when I first learned that, I was like, "Wow, Amazon has anime on it, huh?" And it's for the Amazon Prime. Like, oh, so there's a reason to get Prime, I guess. But yeah, but I think because of that, it makes it harder for like a lot of people to get it. Like for me, it's like, like I obviously like I borrow people's, I borrow profiles to look at stuff. I mean, like, I appreciate it, but
Why'd you say it like you were selling drugs or something?
I don't know. I was trying to make it not sound like, I don't want to pay for the content. Like I'll admit, I still use illegal sites for once in a blue moon, me personally. But like I mainly go on streaming sites just because I want to, I feel like I'm doing right by the artist who made the show. And I want to show my support, even if it is through a streaming service. I don't know. Hopefully they get some of that money, but but like all in all, I think it's just getting harder to get more anime in one place, and it's like it's starting to turn into a cable service. You got to pay
Yeah.
like $98 just to have like multiple services to get what you want, and it's annoying. That's why I think like the whole Verve, that model that Verve has, is smart. And hopefully one day like that gets adopted to like Netflix and stuff. Maybe not Netflix, but maybe like Hulu or something.
Yeah.
You mind if I take the soapbox for a little bit?
The soapbox is yours, Nye.
All right. So, like you were saying, like there are some pluses and negatives with the whole anime becoming more popular, especially overseas. And going to the whole paywall thing, like one of the positives is just the fact that anime is so much more accessible now than we're no longer doing the YouTube like four parts shit where some of the parts are missing sometimes or where we have to like hunt on like shady sites that may give our computers a virus in order to find the anime that we need going through all the awkward ads and whatnot. That's one positive, but like you were saying, the whole it's a cable service now. In order for me to watch all the anime I want, I have to have every streaming service. And even then, there's still going to be anime that's not picked up by a streaming service, and who knows if they ever will be. So that's definitely a negative, and it's just the awkward period where that's probably going to remain, honestly, of just this is just something that we're just going to have to deal with if you want to watch anime legally. And I think another negative is just um, the fact that it's so popular here has kind of led to the whole America kind of sucks thing where if we have a problem with something, our first instinct is to harass people.
Mm.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I am often saddened by how quickly on Twitter and I think it's literally just Twitter usually, which is honestly a whole thing in itself, how quickly some animators and directors will get harassed on Twitter to the point where they have to basically just like disable their account. And I think that's definitely an overseas issue because like that was not an issue before, and I think that's definitely an American thing more than anything else.
Mm.
So there's definitely some pluses and there's definitely some minuses, and I think that's just we're just in the awkward period where we still have to sort it out. And as far as like the whole paywall thing, I think the only way that it's not going to be a thing where we have to buy every damn streaming service to watch almost all the anime we want is to either B, like A, or I say B, just decide, okay, fuck it, we're going to legal all the time now. Or B, one company just monopolize everything and then we'll just pay that one company versus all the companies. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of miss fan subs because they got real fun sometimes, honestly.
They
I
took
like the
liberties.
We took
personality.
some
I
of the
like the
liberties.
personality. I'm not gonna lie. I miss the olden days of fan subs where like I don't know about you guys, and it still happens occasionally, but not as much as like back when it was like a purely fan sub thing. Where like the opening will like they'll literally set it up where like the subtitles is like bouncing around with the opening or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
certain colors were used for specific characters like you could always tell who's talking because they'll dedicate a color to a specific character
Right.
or how sometimes they'll give translation notes to just clarify something
I
because
miss
like
those a lot.
I
Like
Yeah,
the
those were
translation
good.
notes were great. It was very educational.
like they're so helpful because like like, yes, I watch a lot of anime. Yes, I'm a nerd, but like there are still some moments where like if something that's very Japanese, like eccentric, like culture is being spoken about, Crunchyroll don't give a damn about your feelings. They're like, you'll figure it out. Like, no translation notes for you. Like,
Right.
good luck. I do miss the old days of fan subs, honestly, and I kind of do want, but because it's more a popular thing and more like company and corporation geared, you don't really get that anymore, and I honestly truly miss it
No,
because
I
they were so
miss.
fun. They were so fun.
No, no, I missed those. So I actually thought that like whenever I used to go on those sites to watch anime, I actually thought that like when they did those little bounces, it was great. It was entertaining, like you said. It was like it was so animated, and it made me more invested. I think One Piece, like the big three, like One Piece and Naruto. Whenever they did their attacks, it was always like Rasengan, and just like
Well,
the
they'll change
text,
like the font size and
which
whatnot.
and it
Like
made
Yeah.
I
it
was
more
just like,
epic. I
wow.
was like, holy crap! I thought it was like an actual thing that was translated, but no, it wasn't. And I was like, wow, that's a bummer. I feel like maybe maybe they should look into that. Maybe like adding that to like services. Maybe adding
I
like a
want them to.
feature.
I really do want them to. I would honestly like it if streaming services got more like fan subgroups because the fan subgroups still exist to my knowledge, and kind of got them to do some of the translations and whatnot, or at least just add some character to it. Because that's the real issue I have with it is that the subtitles don't have characters sometimes, and like I mentioned before, I really miss those translation notes. I thought they were really unique and fun. And it just set a certain tone for the anime that you were watching because different anime, depending on which it was, different fan groups will do, and you could always tell which fan group was doing them just based on how they did it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, it could be. I mean, it could be a bunch of things behind the scenes that we don't know about, unfortunately. Like, um, they could just be streamlining things. It's like, okay, since this translation group is doing this many anime, we don't want you guys to get all personal with it. Just translate it, keep it pushing, right? You know what I mean? And
it probably is being streamlined just
yeah,
because one thing I also noticed, which really greatly irritates me, is like those moments where like a character's on their phone or like there's like a signpost or something. Those are never translated. I never know what the hell it says.
right.
Yeah, that's
We're just
so
like, oh,
annoying.
okay.
Like when they're on their cell phone, and I'm
Yeah,
expecting to have like some sort of text or whatever. Nah, the
right.
fan dubs did a good job at like doing all
Making us
that, and
know what it was,
yeah,
you know?
Like
and
they'll
like you
edit
could,
over it or like they'll put like it on the side or something, just
Yeah,
something to let you know what the hell it says. Like
yeah, like I think like recently I saw one that had like somebody was reading their phone and was like, oh, what does it say? There was no text or anything. I'm like, wow, y'all were too lazy to freaking translate a little bit of this to give me a simple, quick note of like what's going on. Y'all couldn't do that, yo. Mm.
it's the same like whether it's dub or sub, like if it's done by like Funimation or Crunchyroll, it is almost never translated. And like especially for shows where like the cellophone or like reading things is like very important. You're just sitting there like looking at like a blank page, just like, damn, wish I knew what it said. Like
No, you're just right. You're totally right.
okay, I'm
Damn.
off my soapbox now. Go ahead.
Nah, it's like that was perfect. Like I didn't think much about like the fan subs. I didn't until now. I was like, damn, I really do miss them. Like, phew. But yeah, no, no, this is perfect. So yeah, I mean, does anybody else have any points they want to make about make sure? Well, actually, I just realized we just mainly talked about anime, but we never talked about JRPGs. But
But I
I
think
mean,
with anime, it's more tangible. You know what I mean? JRPGs, it's like those who are into them will sort of always be into them. Those who aren't, they might find one that might, break the mold, but
Like
they don't.
Persona 5 and
Right.
then be
yeah.
like, okay, back to my Call of Duty now. Like,
Yeah, exactly. So I'd say anime more so is it's more tangible, right? It's easier to see that sort of change with JRPGs. It's like it's more so I'd say companies realizing the love
Hmm.
overseas as opposed to the love overseas just growing.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's just like, oh, like these guys really do like 50-hour, 100-hour games. Guess we'll just give them 100-hour games and we'll translate it.
a very short thing. Does anyone miss summer vacation where you had time to beat those
Don't do this to me.
JRPGs.
Don't do this
Ah,
to
don't
me.
do this.
I like finished like two RPGs per like
Ah,
JRPGs per year at this point. Like it takes me so long because I don't have time to play.
I don't have
Nah, I
time.
was just like watching this thing with my father and brother earlier, just discussing how like the older you get, the less resources you have in terms of time and how you spend it and everything like that. And you don't want to be looking at your past and everything like that and thinking, oh, how I spent my time and everything like that. But that's just to say that we really don't have like the time that we used to. Time is a very precious resource, you know what I mean? It's a very precious resource, and unfortunately we don't have it the way that we used to.
Have to take
Like,
a damn vacation just to play Tales of Arise. Like
like honestly, I think a big factor is just the fact that like the way I think about it for me, like whenever I like played any like when I played any game in general, it's like I think it's like maybe high school. Even though I had a summer job, I still wouldn't like be able to buy all the games I want. I would get that one game, and I would play it, and I would beat it. And I think a lot of it, and I think the reason why I don't like, plus having no time to really play all the games I want, especially JRPGs. I think it's just the fact of having money and buying all these brand new games that come out, and then it's just like you just get so like like Ratchet and Clank came out. Oh wow, I gotta play that. You buy that, and it's like something else comes out. Like, oh, I gotta play that. But then next thing you know, you have like a whole bunch of video games in your closet, just stocked up, and it's just you can't play them all anymore.
wait, I kind of know what you mean. Like I try not to buy too many games unless I know for a genuine fact that I'm going to play it. Like I had to sacrifice a lot of games to finish the Trails of series.
I
Like
bet.
it's just like damn Spider-Man's out. Yeah, I'm still on Trails of Sky. I'm sorry.
No, it's like
It's
it's
so bad.
hard. It's hard, man. But like for me, I think I'm starting to kind of like understand like if I'm not into the game, I'll just put it down and maybe come back to it another time, like Horizon Zero Dawn. Like I played a little
Yeah.
bit of that and I was like, this is too open world for me. I'm gonna put this down and come back to it later.
I still need to finish Zelda Breath of the Wild at some point in my life before the second one comes out, preferably.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh
Like
man.
little me would be so happy with the amount of money I have to buy all this stuff, but it's like, sorry, little guy, I can't play them the way that
I
you
don't have
used to.
time.
Like yeah. So
Nah, it's sad. Our freaking youth is gone.
I mean, I probably could make time if I just sacrifice my anime time, but
Nah, you would
I
never
would
do that.
never do that in my entire life.
You would never do that.
No.
No way. Wait, I would even do that. Like even for One Piece right now, I'm just watching One Piece and I'm just kind of like taking my time
I
on
think
that
there's a
one.
few chapters beyond the One Piece now. Should...
Now I'm watching the anime. I'm on Water 7 and it's a good ride.
I love Water Sound.
Man.
We don't have
I'm
to go on a
scared to
tangent,
say that we should do a One Piece like, podcast one day, but that scares me. No.
Now
Episode.
if we gotta do One Piece, we gotta bring one other person on here, and I think we all
Yeah,
know
for
who
Yep.
sure. Yep, for
Yep.
sure.
we got to. All right. Well, we're at like the hour 8 mark. This is really good. This is a really good
Yeah, this
discussion.
was a great one.
Yeah, I'm fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, no problem. All right, guys. We're gonna cut it off here for today. But thank you all you guys for listening in. So I hopefully, like I said, I'm gonna try to get this out by maybe Thursday, at least Thursday, or
Why
at
would you
least
put a
Wednesday.
deadline for like the viewers to look
No,
at you and be like you lied to us? Like
I mean it puts a fire under my butt considering I have like 2 days where I have like the most time. So like I could dedicate that time to do it. Plus, I mean like I need some more of a deadline so I could get my stuff done.
Totally
So
understand.
I put Thursday on there. If I don't come out Thursday, you guys can I don't know hang me dry maybe. I don't
I'll
know.
be sure to like go in the comment sections and be like, "Yo, you
Blame
liar."
him. Blame him now. You're canceled, bro.
But I'll try to get this canceled. Wow.
You're canceled.
I just got started. Oh, but I'll try to get this out Thursday. And if anything, I'll probably, of course, I'll probably put some links under the description for my social medias, and you can follow us there. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you guys for listening in. This is High Top.
Were we supposed to say our names?
Yeah, sorry, I should have planned it better.
He
But
said, this is my top. Pause.
I'm leaving
Dot,
this in.
dot, dot.
I'm leaving this in. Team Rockets blasted off again.
I was like, why are you saying his name instead of Baka Gamers Podcast?
Oh shoot. Okay, well, if we'll plan it next time.
Yeah.
But this is High Top. This is the Baka Gamers Podcast. Thank you guys for
Now we
listening.
really okay.
This is the Baka Gamers Podcast. Thank you for listening. Bye.
everybody.
Bye, guys.